Should be able to hear me now. Maybe. That was fun. Hello Ian and Glenn. Thank you for joining me, both of you. It could just be you two tonight. So this is how it goes when you mess up live streaming. So Glenn will want to know. Hello Flibble. Evening. Glenn will want to know what I got wrong. It wasn't actually my fault. Yeah, well, it wasn't OBS's fault, to be fair. Let me just move that chat where I can see it. I've got my screens in weird places. Oh no, that way. There we go, that's better. So I've just upgraded to Windows 11 after procrastinating for a long time. And it's gone really well. The whole thing has really impressed me. I'm really happy with Windows 11. I think it's excellent so far until tonight. And it wasn't really Windows 11's fault. It was the software that comes with my motherboard, which is Killer Control Center or something like that. And it has a network priority mode that gets switched on by default that just basically killed my upload for OBS. Just didn't just like restrict it, and I haven't got slow internet. I've got half a gig upload, half a gig download, and 80 upload. But it didn't go well. Yeah, but the it just completely trashed my my upload and cut it off for OBS. And what fooled me was when I first saw the problem, I quickly, the first thing I did was speed test. I thought, you know, it's got to be network, so I'll unplug a router and plug that back in and it'll be okay. Ran the speed test, saw it was like 500 meg. I thought, oh, that's okay, and I killed it before it did the upload. And then I went chasing my tail for all the other problems, trying to get OBS to, I mean, I've turned down my bitrate, so my bitrate's not as fast as it should be here. I need to sort that out another time. And then I looked up loads of guides because I was just at my wit's end, and they just kept saying, check your network connection, check your network. I've already checked my network connection. Ah, hang on a second, I haven't checked all of my network connection. I haven't checked the important bit of my network connection. So I did, and it was like dial-up speed. That was you know, fun. Never quite got the nerve to do. Oh yeah, Windows 11's good. It's quick as well. I use the main thing I use my computer for is OBS, DaVinci Resolve, and not, you know, the actual use of that, just opening it. It used to take 30 seconds to open. Now it takes 5. It's just things like that you know, I feel you feel those improvements. You normally just get the drivers and not bother with the software. I've just upgraded my NVIDIA drivers and everything because I thought it was that, and so let's have a look at my Workbench. How is everybody anyway? My Workbench camera's not working now. Oh, that's because I unplugged it. I should plug that back in, really, shouldn't I? Because I thought I separated everything, so that should pop back to life. We're having some problems with my Elgato. My setup is a bit weird. I've got 2 cameras, one up here and this one that you're seeing me with, and the one up here is on an Elgato because that needs to be the high quality one. You don't need to see my face in good detail, so that's it's a 1080, so it's not a 4K or anything, but that's fine. But this one is using, why is that not working? An adapter that Reese recommended to me. Well, he didn't recommend it to me specifically. He did a video on it. I don't know if it's still up on his channel, but the adapter was by a company called Wank. Oh, why has that moved? Which everybody found quite hilarious at the time. Come on, Elgar. Oh, might be on the wrong. There we go. Oh, it did work. Thank God for that. Phew. Right. So, I think we all used to be PC engineers. You're an arcade engineer now. Interesting. Yeah, I'm all right with. That's a very kind offer. One webcam and yeah, well, no, actually 2 Sony mirrorless cameras. That one's a Sony mirrorless and that one's a Sony mirrorless. But I run that through a Wank, literally a Wank. I'm going to keep saying Wank. Video capture device. So on my bench here, let's take this out a sec, is, and that, ZX Spectrum, and I need to fix this for the charity. And this was sent to me by lovely Lee Smith. I'm surprised he's not here actually. Where are you, Lee? He broke it. There's something weird about this. I might have fixed it because I was poking around in it earlier. So that's running. Let's switch over. I'm going to go upside down here. Oh no, I'm not going to go upside down. Let's do capture. No, where is it? Capture. That will just flip my screen because then I can turn that one on. Point it in the right direction. Okay, so this is my capture. Turn my power supply on. Ready to go. Let's turn it on. So it works. But then it does that. And I can hear the speaker clicking like there's a key being pressed. And I don't exactly know what's wrong with it. Yeah, I have got another. Let's go back to Workbench. That's the wrong one. That one. Okay, my camera has now disappeared. This is a problem I was having with it. It might just come back if I fiddle around with the cables. Come on. Let's try that. Give it a sec. Oh, I didn't switch it to the right input. It's my fault. Oh, this is a great night for technical abilities. Can't be a wank. Fun job today. I spent stripping a zombie splash game that is a shooter with a water gun. Oh, you love those. Some delightful kid put washing machine tab in and had to get all the gel case out. Oh wow. Is that a Spectrum screen? Come on, camera, where are you? Let me just restart my camera. Yeah, this definitely, I have got issues with OBS because when I open up an Elgato capture, it doesn't, it's not happy. It pauses and I'm back. Yes, hello Retro Robbins. I am back. I might have to stay on this capture on this one for now. Yes, the charity thing wiped me out. I was knackered after that. So anyway, yeah, Lee's sent this over. I've got a ULA in here, and it seems to work with this, but we'll get to that in a bit, because what I want it to do is I've got a detonator here, and that works fine as diagnostics, but it's a bit weird when I'm testing this computer, because it's doing random key presses on startup, just like random. Sometimes when you start it up, random key presses just start appearing across the screen, and it's not. When you start the diagnostic up, if you're pressing a key, certain keys, it does certain things, so you can't get a reliable diagnostics out of it. Plus, I've run that one. I should really have shown it, but I don't want to keep switching my display because it's not working very well. I ran that diagnostic, and it said that it didn't recognise the ROM, and I had to select one manually. It then passed all the tests, so memory and everything's okay. But I suspect either the ROM is damaged or the ULA. So I've got another ULA to test. I've got other ROMs hanging around all over the place, but this ROM has actually got a cross on it, and I don't know if that was put there by Lee or someone else, but that makes me wonder. It also needs a recap, so it could just be that. I've seen weird issues when the capacitors get bad in these, and they get bad. So I've got this to make. It's the ZX Diag cart from Bike Delight. You might have seen it on the charity thing, and I made one, and that Rudy from Rudy's Retro Intel donated, but I'd also bought one for myself because I was so impressed with it. And it's a lovely kit to build, so I thought I'd chat with you lot and put this together. Where did I put the instructions? Not that you need very many instructions. I will show you them. I need a better pair of glasses. Terrible edge connector reminds you of your ZX81. Oh god, no, I'm gonna have to stick with these ones. This is a problem. Crash live in November the 18th. If you'd like to come, I can put you on my guest list. Fantastic fundraising event, by the way. Well done. Thank you, Retro Robbins. November the 18th. Where is Crash Live? I have no idea where that is. The only reason I heard of that was because Alan Turvey donated some his games and someone else's games to the charity fundraising, and he said that because he couldn't sign his because he lives in Kazakhstan, he said he's going to be at Crash Live, and that whoever won the games, which were bundled with one of the Spectrums, if they turned up at Crash Live, he would sign them. So that's the first time I've heard of it. I'm so out of touch with things. Yes, this is fantastic. And you've also built 8 Harlequins. Right. I haven't actually read all of that part of it. I've just gone through the step-by-step bits. So let's get going, because it's going to take a while, and I don't want to be here all night boring you with me soldering things. These kits are just amazing. So we've got chips, sockets, and an edge connector here, and we've got this is like a foot that clips it. It's a flexible 3D print. It's quite a nice one as well, because this isn't easy to print with it. You get a lot of stringiness with these types of materials, and it clips on the back there, and when it sits in the back of the Spectrum, that just holds it off of the ground, off of the surface. It's the Holiday Inn in Kenilworth. Kenilworth. Let me just have a look. I won't ask you where. I'll look it myself. Speed test was on my phone. I've heard of Kenil. Is it double N? No, one N. Oh, Kenilworth. It's a town in England, and it is 2.5 hours away from me. Ooh. Oh, up near Birmingham. I will give it some thought. I'll give it some serious thought. The thing is, I've actually burnt quite a lot of my passes already. Let me just get a piece of tissue. Because I'm actually going away this coming weekend on Saturday. I don't know if Glenn, if he's still here, he might start sobbing at this point because he was supposed to be going. But it's me and a bunch of other YouTubers will be meeting up at the cave, RMC's cave, this Saturday coming, and this has been in planning for months now, and I'm very excited. I'm trying to see if anyone here is going. I can't see anyone in chat that's coming with us, but yeah, I can't wait. I did get the wafer. Yeah, I got. Well, I didn't get the wafer actually in one of them because there were two kits. There's one went to the charity. The one that came from Rudy in Canada, yeah, that one for some strange reason didn't have a stroop waffle in it, but my one did, and that just got munched straight away. Also, there was one in the Harlequin kit. No, there was something else from Ben, the ZX HD, because I had the HDMI kit. That got munched straight away as well. They're really nice. All right. Yep, they are set up and ready to go. Right, where are we going to start? Now, I do these in a slightly different order because these resistors along here and here, I like to stand them up. This is a thing that Rudy said would be a good idea to do, and I agree. So that if they're stood up, you know, the old-fashioned way of mounting a resistor with one leg through and one up. I'm sorry, Glenn. It's easy to clip on a probe lead from an oscilloscope. So it wants us to warm up the soldering iron and grab some solder. And the SMD parts have already been done, so we've got to start with diode. So I hear in no, actually I can't talk about that. It's not fair because he's not talked about it. I'm so tempted to piss on these chips. You'll come to the next one, Glenn, I'm sure. Right. I am in between eyes here because the glasses that allow me to read the chat are not very good for reading the circuit board. Fortunately, Saturday coming. Yeah, a lot of people at Play Expo. Neil from the Cave has my mobile number and knows me well as I have been a volunteer. So, oh, excellent! Also a sponsor. Brilliant. When you go to the Play Expo, and I think it's quite late in the day, Rose Tinted Spectrum is doing a presentation, and you'll see me on it. I hope so. He might not have used it. He asked me to do something for him, and so I did, and I've sent it to him, but he hasn't said whether he's going to use it or not yet. But I think it's quite good. So let's see what happens with that. Where's my bit of foam? There it is. So the reason I'm going to do the stand-up resistors quite late is because when using like foam to hold components in, the resistors get in the way. So they would normally be the next part, but I'm just going to shove them further down the list. Can you see that? Shall I zoom in a little bit more for you? Excellent. Yeah, Glenn, we need to meet. We do need to meet and hang out for a day and have fun. Snippity snips. I always worry about standing on a resistor leg or a component leg and treading it into the house, and then someone standing on it in bare feet. That wouldn't be much fun. Cool, that went on really badly. I can always tidy that up later. Right, so have I seen the board holder? Yes. Oh no, I don't know, but I know that Neil from NLK just recently bought a board holder similar to you know, that type, but it's got a bit that goes here that you can it's like an arm with a pad on it that holds a component in place. They look really cool. Right, so I'm just going to put the resistors to one side. Or, yeah, let's do all of the resistors after the... is it all of those ones? I don't know. Actually, it's just some of them. So, what we got? R1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 24. So, I can do some of these. So, R1 is there. So, yeah, we can do that one. R1. Reese message retracted. What? Oh, wrong account. Oh no. Personal information. Hello, Reese. Oh, I almost told everybody what you were planning. But then I decided not to. I thought, no, that would be really bad form. Are you going to make a video on it? Reese has got new premises for his YouTube channel, which is like kind of super fancy. I should have got you in here. The video is nearly done. Oh, you had to re-record some of it, didn't you? So, hard luck. That's one of the worst things in my mind to do is having to redo something. I really don't like having to redo things. It annoys me. This is me without glasses. This is what I used to look like. Yeah, so I really don't like redoing things. It's almost like a mental block. Right, so I can see better now, and I can't see the chat. I'm going to have to keep going like this past the camera. No, Reese is not going to Blackpool. He's coming to the cave with me. You can't have him. Right, R5. I can see better now. Anyone see R5? Right, R5 is one of the stand-up ones, so that's going there. Is it? What's R22? Oh, that's later anyway. R5, R6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Where's 24? 24 is there, so that can go in now. So I was thinking, Reese, that we should do a challenge on the day, that a combination of maybe like one PlayStation game, something like, I don't know, Ridge Racer. Everybody can put in like a quick lap time, and maybe some arcade games, a PC game of some sort. Maybe we could do a bit of a head-to-head on GoldenEye or Mario Kart 64 to do like a semi-final. I think we should do a competition, basically. Yeah, some plonker is me, apparently. I'll take that. But you've got a much better chance of avoiding space plague in the cave than you have at Play Expo. I guarantee you that. Let's check this one. R4. R4. R4 is down here. That's good. I can do that one. My new channel, Lee fixes stuff. That's with my lawyers at the moment. Ooh. Oh, it's noted today that Mark hasn't released a video for a few weeks. I hope he's all okay. So you're at Play Expo and you're going to Crash Live, was it? Do you go to all of the shows? This is quite difficult for me to do. My life style, if you like, is it makes it difficult for me to get away for things like that. R2 I can do if I can find it, and R3, which isn't in that one, it's in the next one. Oh, that one wasn't bent quite as well, Ben. Yeah. Coffee and beer after you've finished. Need to move that away from the soldering iron. Neither of which I can't. I'm not allowed to drink beer anymore. Not because of, you know, court orders or anything. Got a bit of a dodgy liver, so beer is off the table for me. For now, R3 next. I was planning on popping to see him this summer, but I'm sure he's too busy at the moment. One of the organisers crashed. Oh, right, you're one of the organisers. Oh, I see. That's why you can get me on the guest thing. Fusion Retro Books is it? Oh, nice. That is quite interesting. Something I would really like to get into is because I love reading and I don't do enough of it, so other hobbies have just taken over. I used to read, I used to write as well a lot, and I actually went back and found Evening Devilish Design. I went back and looked at a website that I used to submit short stories to, and found one where I'd won. So the guy was actually it was someone Brooker, not Charlie Brooker. Can't remember his name. He used to work, or I don't know if he still does, but for Frontier Developments, who did the new Elite. Oh God, what's that called? Elite Dangerous. He was the lead on that at the time, and he's a keen writer. I met him at LaveCon. Actually, wait there. Sorry, just grabbing something off the wall. I met him at LaveCon in 2014. That's my name. Personal information. God, that's got a lot of rubbish in it. I must have drilled something above. or yeah, I've drilled something above that and it's all gone inside. Empty that out on the floor. Yeah, that he's a keen amateur author himself, and he used to do competitions where you'd write a short story, 500 words or less, and I placed in this one, and I think I won a £50 Amazon voucher or something. But it was nice to go back and read some of the old stuff. Right, where are we? This is going to take a long time if I keep talking like this. I've done 3, 21. Where's 21? Yeah, 23 is there. 26, 25. I'm just going to find them. I'm going to do it the wrong way round. So 24 is there. Yeah, 26 and 25 are here. So let's do 25 and 26. Right. So I've had, I don't know how many, there's a few people in my Discord here but that might have seen it. I had one slightly, well, not upsetting, but disappointing piece of news from the charity thing. The ZX Max is having issues. What temperature am I on? Oh, 360, that's too hot. 40, that's good. There's like a weird interference on the screen, and it's being sent back to me. It should arrive here tomorrow, and that was a bit disappointing. And I think, well, it could be a faulty component, but we think it possibly could be you know, a design thing. So, you know, hello Ross from Italy. What are you doing in Italy? Are you having a holiday? God, wow. Say hi to Will. Say hi to Neil to you. Retro Robbins. Good to have you back. I don't know. Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. I've got a video in the making with this. Oh, this is in the next one. Oh, you can't really see it there. A little Amiga 600. That's 95% filmed and about 10% edited. I should really be editing it tonight, but I fancy doing something different because sitting at the editing machine for too much time is actually draining. Right, so any more resistors that I can fit before I have to do the stand-up ones? R23 is in here. That one there. Oh, there's R21 I can do as well. Where's that? Oh, that's in the same pack. So come on, Ross. What are you basically sitting in the restaurant on holiday in Italy with your phone on, watching me stream? I bet you're getting some filthy looks from whoever you're with. What was that? R21. Because this is mine, I'm not even bothering trying to put the resistors in the right way around. If I was doing this and not streaming, all the resistors would be with their gold band on one side and perfectly straight, but I'm not going to get too anal about it while I've got people watching. But it's all actually looks all right. Bit of fluff on my snips. You don't want fluff on your snips. There we go. Yeah, mistakes is the best bit. I think I get the most engagement from putting mistakes in. Some of it negative, but mostly positive. Yeah, because that shows a level of honesty, because it would be quite easy to chop out all those mistakes. Say, here's my board. I've got this problem with it. Cut to the end. It's fixed now, and I did this when you didn't. And what a boring video that would be. We all make mistakes. That's the way we learn. I made a big one earlier this week when I dropped a CRT. Oh, did the implosion band work? Oh God. I've never broken a CRT. We were always terrified of them. I still am, actually. I'm really terrified of CRTs. Any more resistors? I think it's just the rows now. So I don't need to do... Oh, 22 I could do, actually. Let's do that one, because that's not on a diode. That can sit down. And then the rest are going to all stand up, but I'll put in the other components first. I'll put in the diodes and the transistors, and then we'll see. Oh, the capacitors. Oh, why is that not melting? It's a bad solder joint. There we go. Quite a lot of that solder flowed up the leg, so I'm just going to reflow this joint here. Still see what I'm doing. Shout at me if I wander off the camera. Okay, sorry, Reese. I will try and curb my enthusiasm. Yeah, I know what you mean, Retro Robbins, but I have a phobia about electricity. Yeah, and you know that they're doing these sessions at the cave where you can learn stuff. Mark Fix's stuff is just done soldering, and I did threaten to go and heckle. He didn't respond to that. But I'd be tempted to. They're thinking about. Hello, Taz. How are you, mate? They're thinking about doing a primer, I think they called it. So for CRT maintenance, and it's something that I would definitely be interested in more than most other things. Right. So, this is quite interesting. This is how good these instructions are. I can never remember which is the anode and which is the cathode on a LED. Look at this. They don't just show you. They long leg is red. Can you see that? Oh, yeah. And sorry, the red leg is positive and the black leg is negative, and it shows you which way round they go on all of the positions. So I'm going to stick all these in first. These are the red ones. Where do they go? D6 to D13. So that's this row here. So it's long leg at the top. Right, I'm going to put all of those in. So the resistors would stick up further than these. Ooh, long leg at the top. Got to keep telling myself that. Put some tubes, especially the large ones, can recharge. Yeah, well, they are basically big capacitors. Oh, this one's been mangled. There's usually a spare, so I'm gonna. I think I've got some over there from the last kit. So I'll. It's quite easy to burn these out if you get, dwell for too long. They don't like that heat. Make sure you get the resistors the right way down. Poor mental health day today, Taz. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. I hope I can cheer your day up a little bit for you. I did show an Amiga just now. That would have cheered you up. I might get that back out again just for you. Didn't do anything with it. I just showed it and said, look, here it is. Right, can we see that? Yep. I do like soldering big rows of things in like this, like the forest of legs. That's not taken. I'll let that first one cool down a bit first because I don't think there's enough solder on there. Something that some people, I don't see everybody do, is my way of soldering is heat, solder, leave it, take it off. Heat, solder, leave it, take it off. Just it allows the solder to flow into the joint. They're a bit wonky, but they're all flush-ish. They do. It's good enough for me. And especially on like heavy ground pads, you've got to give the solder time to flow. Ooh. I put way too much on that one. Probably not enough on that one. I still need to do that first one again because that's just not got anything on it. This one here. Sometimes if you're heating the leg, it just doesn't go onto the pad. You don't get any thermal flow. So satisfying. I really like building things. I've always liked building things. Is there one more red one? 2 spare. That's good. Right, let's do the blue ones. Right, quick read of the chat. Hello, Chris. How are you? What do we get to? Make sure you get the resistors the right way around. Yes, I saw that, Reese. You're very smart. High voltage probe, I'd be more comfortable working. Yeah, same here. They're expensive as well. You can't cheap out on something like that. A screwdriver with a a clip lead on it doesn't fill me with confidence. I mean, it will do the job, but I'd rather have something that discharged slowly than snap. I really don't like electricity. That's a perfect way to do your soldering. I even use a sponge underneath as well to hold the LEDs in place, much the same as you've done there. Oh, thank you very much. They look pretty good. They're all, them end ones are a little bit wonky, but they've straightened up. Right, blue, D14 to 21. What? D14 to 21, that's 13. What about 13? Did I miss? What? Oh, it's a resistor. Oh, God. D14 to 21 is down here. I'm looking at the resistors. The instructions are incredible. You'd love to build this, Reese. Long leg at the top. No, I put all of those in the wrong way round. What an idiot. Okay, so it was short leg at the top, and I put all of them in with the long leg at the top. Oh, crap. No. Where's my board holder? I'm going to need my board holder because I need a second hand now. Okay, is everybody having a good laugh? Ah, what a muppet. Right, I see Taz has said something. I'll read that in a sec. Oh, let me have a look. Use a long screwdriver, an old jump lead, and then to the radiator. I don't think you need to actually go to earth. I think you just need to ground it to the chassis, as long as it's got something to discharge into. Oh, so you're still impressed with my soldering, Retro Robbins? I might grab... you think I've got it right? I went with the long lead at the top, which was on here, positive, and it's just not. The square at the top is the ground. Yeah, I've definitely got it the wrong way around. Let's just take this soldering iron out a sec. Put it up there. I've got my other pine saw here with it's got a big chunky tip on it, so I can heat both at the same time and just whip them out. They're all put in straight, so 390. No, let's not go 390. So they should just slide straight out. Let's lock this in place. Should. Oh, still hot. Oh, it's really hot. And now I don't know which way around they go. Oh, they've got a flat side, haven't they? Oh, God. Just make sure that these are marked. So I've got 2 spare. I can't see that they are. I think. Yes, they are. There is a flat side. Flat side is the negative lead. It's really difficult to tell, but yeah, they are. Right. Everybody finished laughing yet? I know. Oh yeah, poor Glenn on his 600. I had a bit of drama with the 600 I just did as well, but most of it was my own making, or not really drama at all. So actually, I'll tell you, Glenn, what's happened on mine. Hot. It was a black screen, and should I tell you? No, it's going to be in the video. I don't want to spoil it for everybody. It's a good one though. Right, they're all out. That was easy. Let's swap this back over. Do love my pine seals. These are very, very handy. I would like something with, after doing that Amiga 600 though, I would like something with a bit more oomph, a bit more thermal mass. I struggled in a couple of places with that heavy ground plane. These have probably all come out with desoldering wick, but let's heat it up. I melted my finger. Yeah, there's a diode test on my multimeter as well. Time to get the moo gun. Oh, no, I don't need to get that moo gun out. Yeah, it would do that. I can't. I want to talk about that Amiga 600, but oh, why didn't that clear? That's quite a lot on the other side. Let's get rid of all that first. But it's only just stopped smelling of fish in here. And I've got a 1200 to do as well. And is there another? Oh no, it's I've got over there. I'm going to do a repair pile, couple of videos probably, like I did on this second channel before, when Paul, Universal Retro Boss Paul, furnished me with loads of stuff to repair. Just do like a triage of what's to come. Right, that's everything off of that side. I should be able to clear these out now. Over there, I'll show you some in a sec. There's 2 Commodore 64 C64Cs and 5 Commodore 64s. There's various spectrums as well, including a 2A, a plus 2A, and of the 48K variety ones. Why is that not clearing? Am I just not heating enough? It's because this is the ground side and it's just gonna take a little bit more suck. It's flowing through to the other side. I bet these positives, yeah, these are all clear, nice. I hope that's not going to be difficult to clear. I might get the Moo gun out for them. Yeah, of the Commodore 64s, there's one of them is a silver label in really good condition. That's got black screen. And there's an issue 1 16K ZX80 ZX Spectrum that has got it just needs tweak, needs a bit of a tune up, because the screen has got that green tint to it you get when the variable resistors are in need of a tweak. Hey, that's got it. There we go. Nope, that didn't clear. Do you want to see me struggle with one of these? The old style solder suckers. See if I can do it with one of these. I'm going to give myself a chance by putting some extra solder on there. Slipped straight off. I just... Nope. I hate using that thing. I really detest it. I don't know how anybody ever managed to do anything with that. Silicon nib on these is the way to go. I need to do a bit of clearing up as well. Is that one clear? I don't think it is. Is it? No. Well, it might be. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Falling behind. Yeah, you know exactly what it was, Glenn, because that's exactly what it was. Pretty sure we have all put components in the wrong way around. At least swapping 8 LEDs is an easy mistake. I ordered some PCBs last week and got the front and back layers mixed up. Oh no! No! I've not had that yet. I know, like Lee Smith has. I've heard him complain a few times when he's ordered stuff and it's like, oh no, I forgot to do this, or I've messed that bit of it up, and that would just, I'd be devastated. That really would upset me. That one's not clear. Now it is. Another squirt. Topped up my isopropyl alcohol squirty bottle today. Takes me about 6 months to get through that. I wonder if this will work. Are they fit in there? Yeah, look, diode test. Just to make sure I haven't burnt any of these on the way out. Lovely. Don't think so. But I don't want to waste time. Oh, that's not in. Oh, I didn't see. Oh, no, they're still not in there. Burns are my punishment. You're my punishment, Reese. Leave some for the rest of us. Do you know what? That's enough of them working. I'm going to trust that they're all okay. Right, so flat side is, what did we say it was? The flat side was I think that's the negative. Better glasses. Yeah, flat side is the negative, so I'm going to have to keep these on for now. Ugh. So the negative is the top one. So I am going to have to concentrate hard on this. There's a bit of skanky solder on there. It's not going in. Oh, damn it. Let's clean all these legs up. They're not too bad. Yeah, they're all right. And they're all right. They're all of them. There's one over there. Right. Quick read of the chat. You can tell the polarity by the shape of the metal gummins inside. Really? Didn't know that. Okay, so the negative is there's a piece of metal. Where are we? Yeah. That kind of sweeps like that, and the negative side, I'm pretty sure that's the negative side, yeah, is at that end of it, at downhill. Is that true on all of them, or is Reese winding me up? Yeah, that's true. He is right. I'm sure he's always right. So I'm still going to go with the flat side. Flat, there. It's hard to see. Now I'm going Reese's method and using the downhill bit because it's easier to see. That one's not so easy to see. Oh, sorry if I'm off camera, I'm having to glare at these. And we'll get back on track in a minute. So yesterday, Thomas and I went to the Befriending Scheme farm for the open day. Oh, I'm missing one.
and it was really nice. There was like over 100 people there. The mayor of my local town was there, and various councillors. My local MP was meant to be there but didn't turn up because he's a complete waste of space. And but he's an MP, so you know it's kind of what you expect. Oh, I'm missing one. I must have lost one. Good job, we've got spares. And yeah, we had a lovely open day. They showed us around the farm, saw lots of things that Thomas has been involved with, and at the end, the Shirley is the CEO of the befriending scheme. She did a speech thanking everybody for, you know, all the volunteers and staff and trustees, and then went into fundraising and talked about our exploits. And when she said the amount, there was an audible gasp around the crowd of people, and yeah, a lot of people were really stunned at how much we all raised. So, and I'm pretty sure many of you in here contributed, and I can't thank you enough. It's brilliant what they're doing there. It's so good. Speak to lots of the other parents and carers, and it's a fantastic scheme. There's so much good being done there, and Thomas loves it. I've got a picture of him with his favourite goat, Del Boy, who Rodney, Del Boy's mate. I don't know if they're literally mates in, you know, the biological sense. Ripped out some important paperwork from the it wasn't the mayor's hands. It was her cohort, somebody who was with her, which is absolutely hilarious. Right, we are back to where we were. James is here. Hello, mate. Looked at the diagram showing the polarity of LEDs a million times. Yeah, no, this is, I can't retain this information. What else is it? Yeah, anode and cathode. Couldn't tell you which is which. Don't know. It just won't stick. You can tell me. You could, you know, probably beat it into me. It will just fall out of my brain in like 2 days. I find this sort of video quite relaxing. Normally I work with components so small I need a microscope. 2,000 components can fit into a 1 centimetre cube. Oh wow, everything is so big. Hello Richard. And James is he's working on the CPC. Lee, I blame you. James is working on a CPC from the Pigeon Poo warehouse, I believe. And yeah, it's not a very happy CPC. I've had some grotty CPCs in my time, but that one's really grotty. Quite often, this is something that Reese will probably, and Glenn probably attest to. You film something, you think this is going to be a great project, and then it just never makes it past editing. It's a real shame. And I've got Mike DX sent over 2 really dirty Amstrad CPC 464s, and at the same time someone else sent me I think Simon Osborne at Flibblesand, he sent me a 464 tool key as well, so I had 3 Amstrad 464s here, but they weren't broken. It was really disappointing. They were dirty, but I ended up with something like 10 hours of footage of cleaning, you know, and, you know, restoring keyboards and stuff, and it was, I might do something with it one day, but it was a bit disappointing to put that, you know, to bed and say I can't really make that into a video. But one day, well, actually it might be quite soon, because behind me is another Amstrad that Retro Crazy sent me for the charity. So this Spectrum is for the fundraising as well, and that will be auctioned off once it's fixed up. I'm going to put it in a plus case. I've got this plus case here. That's empty. And if I can get a keyboard membrane for it cheap enough, I don't want to spend too much money because I really did overstretch myself a little bit. Yeah, so that's going in the plus case, but the Amstrad is also available to buy for charity purposes, and it's a tool key version. So I might be making a video on that soon. We'll have to see how it turns out. Oh, they made a poor job on this one. Oh, they're all over the place. Let's get these settled back down where they should be. Ooh. I can't get on both of them. There we go. Do you know, I might just live with it. Oh, I need to snap that off. Oh, they're really poor. Why have I done that? They weren't... Oh, I know why. They're all hanging... Because I should have done that row first. I should all put it along here like this. Oh, that's annoying. I might come back and do those later. Let's get on with it. Oh, that's gone in my finger. So where was I? Yeah, Amstrad CPC 464 with tool keys. Let's grab it. Oh, it's got a lot of stuff on it. I might have shown this on the live stream, but because it's an Amstrad, we're going to have to zoom out quite a way. Oh God, put my address on there again. Someone remind me to go back and blur that out later. But yeah, and it's got a key missing there, but in that bag is a new one. I'm terrible at showing my personal details online. Right, I'm way behind with the chat. Thank you, James. That's really kind. It was really nice actually on the open day. They did. She said that, and there was a big round of applause. And didn't say it was me. It was Thomason and me, which was really nice because it was all about him, and he really enjoys the attention much more than me. Did you notice how I didn't use the word anode and cathode? And the cache really, yeah, it really does help. I'm exactly the same trying to remember the anode cathode. If only there was a system. If it's had a bath, I think the tape drive is a lost cause. Oh, it's had a bath. So that's James's CPC 464. It's rusty and nasty inside. It's an unfortunate mess. Thing is, I think James, if you should talk to Mike DX, because he was developing something with the ESP32s where you disconnect the tape drive altogether and you plug this, basically a little Arduino type board into it, and it would allow you to connect with a web browser, or to it via Wi-Fi with a web browser, and you could select a game or program from online. There's an online repository. I don't know if that might have been the Spectrum. I don't know if you did an Amstrad version, but I know it would work with the Amstrad as well, and you could do games by loading up games from files rather than the online repositories, and load them that way. Still like loading from tape, still the same speed and everything. Rudy's here. Hello, mate.
Rudy will like this. I've already explained that you donated the other one, Rudy, because I did forget in one of the videos. Mine Electronic Hobby. Hello. Just soldered together a ZX Diag cart and then noticed I swapped the colours of the LEDs and it was supposed to be a video. I ordered a new DIY kit. Excuse me. Oh, drink here. I'm not sure I go to those links. I might order a new set of diodes. VDD and VSS, yeah, and VCC. I'm all right with VCC, but people, got a few of those. Oh, I've clicked on something. The best bit was getting a faulty Vectrex for £40. I thought it would make for a great video, but it just needed a fuse. Oh, you poor thing. Hello, Neil. How are you doing? Did you enjoy your roast? Are both video sources a bit blurry? Is it just me with my beers? I hope not. Then do you know, I might be able to fix that. Let's go dangerous. Output streaming. Let's crank that up to 12,000 kilobits per second. I'm pretty sure I can do that on the fly. I've got myself a CPC 464 for my. Hello, Phil. Phil Sands is here. Phil donated a ZX Spectrum inbox and is just a lovely bloke. So many of you are, though. I shouldn't really single too many people out, but it's nice to be able to say thank you to you almost directly, Phil. And of course, Neil is here. Not that Neil. Neil, NLK Media is Neil that helped me so much in the live stream and with other various stages of the charity event. No food poisoning yet. Who cooked? Right. So that's those diodes. Let's get the green ones in that go down this side here, D2 to D5, and the negative lead is on the outside. Oh no, one of them is a tricky one. So one of them, oh God, sorry, I'm just going to move something because that's in my way. One of them, the wrong way, here is actually the wrong way around. No, I say the wrong way around, but that one is negative on the left, that one's negative on the left, and that one's negative on the left, but this one is negative on the right. And I spotted that the first time I made one of these, all by my own self, without having to put a diode in there and take it back out again. And you have no idea how proud I was of myself that day. I thought it was a like achievement unlocked moment. So we've got negative on the left on this one. I'll stay zoomed in for now, but I will forget and move out of frame. Negative on the right on this one, so long leg on the left. Negative on the left, and negative also on the left. All right, let's see if I can get these ones flush. They look better. Wake up soldering iron. I need to increase the sleep time on that. Intel? What? Well, Rudy's Retro Intel. Is that what you were talking about, Rudy? That's the name of his YouTube channel. Rudy's featured quite a few British machines recently on his Canadian-based channel, which is pretty brave to get involved. And something I still need to do, Rudy, is switch on the Apple II that you sent. I haven't done that. I've got so much to do. Everything is just eating away at my time. If you'd sent it to me broken, I probably would have had a go at switching it on by now. Okay, they've gone on much better. I can't believe I messed up all those blue ones.
Pew. There we go. Okay, we're getting there. Well, we're not really. We're moving very slowly, so I'm leaving the resistors again for now. Let's put these capacitors in, C1 to C6. Thank you, Julian. Julian is oh my God. So many of my lovely friends are here tonight. It's heartwarming, and it's nice for me to say thank you to all of you. I honestly could not have done anywhere near what I did without the help of people like you. Hey Spark, sorry about earlier. Things I had a problem with some software on my computer that was killing my upload bandwidth. It's just dead. Right, what am I missing here? C1, C3, C4, C5, C6. Where's C2? Anyone see C2? C2's up there. All right. There. I feel good. Thinking of getting rid of my Apple IIe, spending more time playing with my Commodore PET, which is an awful lot of fun considering. Yeah, PET would be quite desirable. Oh, Reese has got a PET that needs restoration. That should be fun. So if we're probably on Reese's big telly right now. He might have got bored and switched on to something else. He's quite fickle. But he could just be dozing on the sofa full of wine as well. Knowing Reese, which I do. So so next Saturday I'm going to get to meet. You know, it's so nice having so many people that follow your progress and are interested in what you do, and you get to chat with a lot of them in places like Discord and Twitter and in YouTube comments and all that kind of thing. It's really, really nice. But when you finally get to meet people, it's so nice. It's so much nicer being able to actually spend time with some of these people. And I've met Reese. I haven't met too many other people in real life, but I've met Reese and we just got on. He's a lovely guy. But I'm going to get to meet Reese again. I'm going to meet Lee Smith for the first time, and we're really good mates. And I'm going to get to meet What Ho Snorkers, which is like bucket list. James is just such a lovely guy, and it'll be such a nice thing to meet him in the flesh. So it looks like we've got a transistor here, BC548. Oh, in Q6, which I'm guessing is that one there. But I'm really looking forward to Saturday. It's going to feel like I don't get very many holidays. The last time I went away was in 2002. That was the last time I had a holiday. So I go away for days out occasionally, and I've been to the cave twice this year for pleasure. I went once for the charity thing, but this is going to be more of a jolly boys outing. going to be great. Hello, Snowy Snowden. I'm on Big Telly at CRG as well. Well, I missed a bit there. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. Got a customer's Amstrad CPC 464 to inspect. Turns on and boots fine, but the tape deck has lots of wow and flutter. Likely needs a new set of belts and an idler wheel, yeah, and a good clean. Got to love those Bike Delight serial numbers. I didn't wash it off again, did I? Oh no, it's still there. Oh God, what is that? What does that say? That's a 4. That's either a G or a 9. I don't know what that is. That looks like a D. It could be an 8 on its side. Ben's a doctor. Told you. Let's go back out a bit. Where were we? So I can't do next week. Yeah, sorry, Matt. Next week, yeah, you're going to Blackpool, Taz. Oh, nice one. You'll see me there, but only on the screen. I will demonstrate my new Commodore PET board at the World of Commodore conference in December. My board gives external video and audio for pets. Wow, nice. What ho is the nicest guy going? James is just a gem. Have you heard of the Amigos Al Sinclair podcast on the ZX? Yes. Great way to explore some of the catalogue, and it's really interesting to hear. I was listening to those. Oh, the North America. Oh, no, I haven't heard that. I was thinking of someone else, actually, Chris. I need some more podcast suggestions because I'm always running out now. I used to, not get enough time to listen to podcasts, but I've got 2 4-hour drives coming up this Saturday and Sunday, so I need to queue some up. D1 is triggering his Neil's OCD. Which one is? What? Oh, D1. No, D1. Oh, it might be a different one, but there's that might be that one. Yeah, I'm gonna probably desolder all of those later after the stream and reseat them because they're all just sat up off the board slightly. But if I don't want to wobble them around too much because I don't want to weaken the legs, and it will just make getting them sat in a little bit more difficult. But yeah, they're really bad. There isn't. I don't think there is a D1, is there? Anyway, I'll sort that. I promise. Sorry, Neil. I'll send you pictures of it later. Where are we? I've not done any of these bags in order, so I'm not going to do those. Let's go back to the resistors and get all those fitted. So 13 to 20 is this row here. Let's do those ones. Don't know if I really need. This is the data bus. I don't know if I need to do this row as well. No, it would be nice to have both rows. But yeah, Rudy is here, and he was the one who showed me this. He did a video on. His video was about different, the comparison between different diagnostic carts for the ZX Spectrum, and this obviously won. And he suggested doing it this way with the legs in the air, like they just don't care, like that. So I will do that while I read some. I am going to be on the screen at Play Expo. So I was explaining earlier, but I'll do it again for your sake. Rose Tinted Spectrum's doing a presentation there, and he asked me to submit a video that will be shown with him. And I have. It's only like 3.5 minutes long. Reese has seen it. I've shown it to Reese because we share everything. I don't know if I'm going to get those the same. Might do these one at a time so that I get the lengths right, because otherwise they're going to look really disgusting and people will complain. Right, quick look at the chat. Hello, Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack, all the way from Arkansas. How the hell are you? Grabbed a broken, this is Matt, grabbed a broken 2600 Vader. Matt, you sent me something, didn't you? For £1 from a charity shop. Haven't opened it yet, grimaces. £1. That's amazing. Chris's retro note will have to take a look. I think if the speckies were sold in North America, it would have done well. Yeah, it depends on how bad it is inside. I can see some rust on the ports. That's a 2600. Good, yeah. And diode at the bottom. This one. It's not good, is it? I'm not proud of my work there. Rudy and Jeremy having a little love in there. I'm hoping it can't be as bad as the charity 2600 I sent you. Ah, right. That was you. That was... Oh, I'm trying to think. Oh, Matt. Oh my God, Matt Loren. Is that? I knew I'd seen your name somewhere before. I'm trying to think of your Twitter name now, and my brain's gone blank. It is. It's going to come to me. I can picture your avatar, and we've been friends for a long time. And we almost met up recently because Matt was in my local area, but it didn't quite work out. Gothmog Plays. Is that you, Matt? Because if you're using your meat name, that's just not fair. How am I supposed to remember people's names from address labels you sent me like 2 years ago? Hope that they record Rosie's play. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be. If it isn't, then you'll at least see my bit because it's already up on my second channel, and not public. But after he's done his thing, I'll release it as a video on its own. That's one of the reasons that I didn't release anything over the last. Am I putting these in the right ones? 13. Yes. No. Am I? Yes. Phew. I was busy. I was busy doing a video for Rose Tinted Spectrum. He's such a lovely guy, and when he asks you to do something, you just go, "Are you all right then?" I saw someone say hello. Happy Coding. Hello. How are you? I've been asked by. Retro Robbins if I'll go to Crash in November. It wasn't even on my radar, but I'm going to have a look and see if that would be a possibility. Maybe. Be nice. I have to be a bit careful with things, with large gatherings of people because of COVID. My sons are clinically extremely vulnerable, although we have all just had our jabs again, so I don't have to be quite as careful, but generally expos and things are almost, this year at least, are a bit of a no-no, but it's something I really want to get involved in again. I used to do a podcast for current gaming. It wasn't retro gaming, called Ready Player 2, and we had a reasonable following, and we had a lot of fun, and there were 4 or 5 of us at a time, and we used to go to EGX as a podcast not every year, but most years we would turn up there together and get press passes, and I'd love to go as More Fun Making. I would, just would be really nice to, you know, not to promote myself or anything, but to meet people, to go and actually get to talk face to face to people. I've had a few people come round and visit by invitation only. Don't just turn up, even though I have just shown my address. And I love chatting to people. It's just the, you know, one of my favourite things. And when I've gone to the cave, I've been on patron days, I barely touch any of the machines there. I spend the whole time just talking to people, because when you're in a place like that and everything around you is a conversation starter, you end up just, you just want to talk to people about whatever's going on. And everybody there is as passionate as you are about all the things around you and all the things that you're passionate about. It's great. So to go to somewhere like a you know, Crash or to Play Expo would and just to get to meet people would be fantastic. I'd love to do that, but yeah, at the moment I have to be a little bit careful. We had a bad time in October actually of 2021. We all caught COVID, and me and both my sons ended up hospitalized with it, so gotta be a little bit careful. I can't take it for granted. Right, 2 more on this row. It's worth doing these this way, I think. I think it's a really nice little addition to allow me to get the scope lead on there without having to probe inside the computer. Would be, or is, because I've done it before, a genius idea. Thank you, Rudy, for suggesting this. Right. And I will try and catch up on the chat. Yes, Matt, knew it was you. Knew it. Well, I didn't know it until you kind of said, but yeah. Yes, he was the one who started. I'm going to say he's the one who started the whole charity thing, because Matt sent me an Atari 2600. He offered it to me. He said, do you want this 2600? And I said, in much the same way as when Lee Smith sent me the Mectrum case, and I said, this is too much. Let's do charity with it. Matt offered me a 2600, and I said, I don't like to take advantage. So he said, okay, sell it for charity. So, all right then. So we start that. The whole charity thing on my channel started because of that. That was his fault. Neil would have loved to have come to the cave next weekend, but just can't get the flights and everything sorted in time. Next year for sure. Feel like I'm missing. You are missing out. You need to sort that out. Get on a boat. That's slightly cheaper than my 26. $5 off of eBay local pickup. Oh, I've had a free one. I gave it away as well. That's, you know, I can't remember the last time, obviously the charity ones, but I can't remember the last time I sold a machine. I generally, if I haven't kept it, I've given it away, because I get given so much stuff. It feels wrong to profit off of other people's generosity. Buying good night, mine electronic hobby. Good night. I'm sure you've already gone because I'm way behind on the chat. You have, oh, good luck on your tough day tomorrow. Ross is here from Goldfish on Games. This is why you need to be consistent with your naming and never use your meat space name. And I just told everybody what your meat space name is. Chris's Retro Nook. Oh yeah, Retro Man goes got my play. Go to events, have fun rather than make it a job. Yes, never going to catch on. Oh, okay. It's great how the bike to like kits pre-bend. Yes, it's just amazing. That is, although all the resistors are kind of wasted because I'm rebending them all. Oh, I haven't soldered those ones. Let's get those in before I read that last bit of chat. Ooh, get back. Has anybody ever done this where you see where my little finger is? You just like kind of curl your finger up a little bit and touch the soldering iron. Done it a few times now. Here we go. So I'm going to do some new content on my second channel. Some different content. I'm going to, when I did the live stream, the charity live stream, and I had 11 guests on in 12 hours, and I managed to talk to them without any major fluffs and mistakes, and only losing my train of thought once in 12 hours, which I have to say I actually impressed myself doing that. I think I can hold down a conversation now, and I worry less about, you know, I'm going to say interview, but then I'll never do interviews. It's going to be chats. But I'm going to start easy mode and have on a friend, and do some chats with various people, not necessarily all YouTubers, but people from the world of retro, vintage gaming and computers. Oh, that's the wrong way around. This is the right ones, isn't it? 5 to 12. Yes, that is not the time, I hope. So I'm going to start with Reese, because we've done chats before, and it'll be just a bit easier for me to get the hang of the whole logistics of the thing if I've got someone that I know I can trust not to mess me around. So that's, yeah, it's going to be some interviewee type chat. No, it's not going to be an interview, because you know, the questions will be going both ways. It is going to be a chat, but I've got someone else lined up as well. I'm not going to say who it is, and they weren't on the live stream, and I haven't mentioned them before, so it'll be a nice surprise. And they've got quite a big channel. Too much solder on that one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've got that to do. I've got the repair pile videos to do. I've got this Amiga 600 video to edit. I'm hoping to get that done by next weekend, so I can release it before I go to the cave. I haven't put nearly as much effort into it, making these stand up all straight in exactly the same way. They're very uneven, as the charity one. The charity one I made sure was perfect, and all of the color banding is different. It's all over the place. Yeah, and after that actually one of the next videos. Well, I've got the Amiga 1200 to recap as well, and I've got all of the bits here to do that. So I'll probably want to do that soon, because I'm kind of when you got set up with a certain type of machine, it's easier just to keep going. So like if you're doing Commodore 64s, you want to keep doing Commodore 64s before you put all the leads away and everything, and all the spare parts, and your knowledge rattling around in your brain is all still current and works. But once I've but one more thing, I've got that PC Engine over there needs to be looked at soon, because Simon Ginger Hippie Gaming is going to start feeling uncomfortable if I don't. It looks like I've taken that off of him and just kept it, and I want to get a video out on that, because it's a current thing that he's doing, and I kind of owe him my gratitude for that one. And other people have got their videos out. Glenn's got his video out already on that, and Lee's got his video out on it. Mark Fix's Stuff should be doing something on one or two that he's got for the PC Engine. So it makes sense for me to get one out while they've got theirs out as well. So that's coming up. Plus all of the massive repair pile. Plus I've got I can't even start to. I've got the CPC 464 for the charity, and this Spectrum for the charity to get done. So many projects, it's ridiculous. Right,
Oh, Paul's here. I only just joined. Been watching the first attempt of a video on a loop. Was it good? Oh, I love that. Sorry, Paul. With technical difficulties, and that stream had to die a death because apparently my upload bandwidth went back to dial-up days after I upgraded to Windows 11 yesterday. That was fun. Waking up the next day and it was still on 99% and then had to start it again. I'm going for these last 4 together. Bye, Rudy. I can't see. I see other. Oh, well, it's time for me to get dinner ready. Have a good evening, everyone, and thanks, Lee, for the stream. You're welcome, mate. It's nice to see you. Rudy would be someone nice. He's probably gone now, but I'm gonna ask him if he would like to. Right. So one thing I would, I don't want to be. I've said one of the guests is going to be someone who's got quite a big YouTube channel, but that's not going to be the idea. I don't want to. I'm not going to be going after Neil again or other big YouTubers per se. Is this this person that I was speaking about with their own YouTube channel that's quite big is someone that I just said that they would like to come on for a chat. But what I would like to do is promote some of the smaller YouTube channels, and get them talking and having a conversation about, we can talk about our YouTube journeys, that kind of thing, as well as all the retro stuff. So Rudy would be he would be ideal, actually. Right, username. Hey, there we go. Thank you, Matt. I'm just going to call you Matt now. We do the same thing with resistors with radios, but usually fit a 2 watt in the space of a 1/4 watt. Oh yes, you've just reminded me of that. Oh, I nearly burnt myself. That those 1/2 watts I was trying to get in the ZX Max. Oh, this is going to fall off. Let's try and get one leg soldered on each of these. I'll reflow these in a sec. There we go. They're not bad. Cool, that one's not good. Yeah, that's better. I will straighten all this up after I finish. Let's get it working. Right. I need something to talk about. PC Engine is a very interesting machine. It's one that a lot of people seem to have a lot of interest in. Was just not successful here at all. Certainly not something that ever came across my radar back in the day. Oh, we were kind of aware of it. Right, they'll all need reflowing. Amiga 8-bit man shed finished his. Yes, I saw that. Good video that. Need to get my next video on the PC Engine. You got another one coming on the PC Engine. Are you sorting the cable on yours? The ribbon cable, Glenn. Neil says, I may have 1 or 2 Amigas en route to NLK Media Towers. That is an understatement. I know exactly how many Amigas are en route to Neil's workshop, and it's not 1 or 2. It's 1 or 2 orders of magnitude more than that. Looking forward to watching more PC Engine content. I've had a look in my PC Engine, and my worry is it's not going to actually make a video because I have a feeling it's going to be absolutely fine. I think it will just start up because the motherboard is in surprisingly good condition.
Yeah, Rudy's a lovely guy, I'm sure, and he'll have some interesting things to say, I'm sure. Right, have I finished all these packs? I've done this in completely the wrong way. I didn't even do it this badly when I did the other one off camera. So they're all empty, so that's good. I keep these. I've got bags of these, you know, baggies that whenever I take the screws out of a machine, I put the screws in a bag and then tape it with my blue tape to the outside of the machine or the inside somewhere. Neil's got an Amiga 1200, some Amiga 600s, and various Amiga 500s on the way to his. And yes, I'm a little bit jealous. Right, let's go back to the. Let's follow the instructions. So I've done diodes. I've done all the resistors. Once IC sockets next. Actually, I should have probably have done that earlier, but. And you have to be a little bit careful with these ones because the legs tend to slide out of them. Oh, I've got the edge connector as well. God, that's a bit rough. It's at the end of a rivet. Right. Let's start with the little ones. And that one is going there. Blue tack. Oh, where's my blue tack gone? I've got some on my desk, don't worry. All right. Yeah, should have done the sockets before I did the capacitors and the resistors. Oh. That looks good. Give it a little reflow. Yep, good. Right, someone will say something. Grabbed at auction and have no idea what state they're in. 4 is not working, 3 are working. They're the ones you can just send back. Are any of the 600s working? They'll probably all be broken. They're just... And the 1200. I'd imagine it's the 500s that are the ones that are working. And Glenn will probably back this up as well. It's just the... Actually, Glenn, it's I've got a question for you. On all of the 1200s and 600s that you've recapped, I took the through-hole capacitors out of the 600. I damaged the trace on one of them where it wasn't actually on the ground plane. I think I was just heating it. I put too much heat into it because I had too much heat in my soldering iron from doing the leg that was on the ground plane. And when I heated the other leg, I popped the pad out of the other side. There was no trace on the other side. It's just the pad. Oh no, it was on the solder side. I think. No, it was on the other side, but I couldn't then solder it. It was, something like that. I can't even remember, but I ended up having to, bodge wire it, which was really disappointing. But these things happen, as we've discussed. You can't win them all, especially when heating something to that temperature is a kind of a destructive process, and you have to accept that sometimes you won't get it quite right, and you might cause some damage. But as long as you've got the wherewithal to fix that damage, it's not a big deal, is it? And as long as we leave them better than when we started. Side note, I have a project that takes the A600 mainboard and puts it into an ATX form factor. Ooh, what keyboard would that use? Can you take the keyboard and put that into some kind of case as well, and as like an external keyboard? which wouldn't work because there's a ribbon connector on the 600 keyboard. You'd have to switch that over to a... I've seen actually a project which allows you to connect an A500 keyboard to an A600 motherboard. Adds a little daughter board to it. I wonder if you're using that. That'd be quite interesting. But you're going from... I have to question why. Because you're going from like a really convenient and nicely sized microcomputer that these days people desire because of its size to a case, a big case. I'd have to think about that one. Yeah, but it would be good to see. Plan to implement a new keyboard encoder. There are mods for using PS2 keyboards with the Amiga. What, even this 600, Ross? Yeah, Neil, talk to Glenn on CRG. He's your man. Glenn, and there's a guy in my Discord called Peter. I think his username isn't Peter, but if you ever need him, super knowledgeable on Amigas. But yeah, Neil, I mean, you probably get everything you need from Glenn because eBay is too expensive. Ah, interesting. Right, sockets, more sockets. Well, it's lucky that went on flush because I didn't test that one. I'm so easily distracted. Right. Is that the right way around? Nope. There we go. Oh. Has anybody watched the new, what's it called? Generation V. Oh, it's still heating up. I started watching that yesterday. It's been pretty good. It was a bit dark in places with all the, you know, it being to do with self-harm and bulimia and everything as well. But I mean, I love the boys, and this is scratching that itch quite nicely. And they're good characters as well. They've actually some good writing and some good casting, and quite shocking stuff. Right, 3 of these sockets to do. And then the big one, switches, headers, and then the edge connector, and then we'll be there. I quite like doing the edge connectors. Looks like it's good old Clipper 2K that's made the PS2 keyboard adapter. Oh, cool. It's always the keyboard connectors I struggle with not destroying when recapping. Yes, hello Carsten, how are you? A600s and A1200s. I've managed to grab a small supply of new spare connectors. Yes, I saw some actually. So on the Amiga 600 I've just done, I took the keyboard connector out, and that was tricky. I desoldered all of the pins and couldn't get it to budge, so I ended up using hot air, and it's warped that connector a little bit, but it still works perfectly fine. So I, you know, and with multiple insertions and removals, it functions exactly the same. It's just a bit warped. So I was tempted to change it, but then I thought, no, if it's working, why change it? I didn't take out the audio connectors, and normally I can, because I use 2 soldering irons, one on each side, this one and well, one up there with a needle point on it. I can't get it down, it's covered in stuff. And I just pick up the bit like tweezers, and I leant on one of the audio connectors and melted the back of it. Really pissed me off. Sorry, Reese, if you're still listening. He's probably gone. He'll be asleep in a drunken haze now, in a wine-fueled haze. The raving alcoholic. But yeah, there's a lot of different methods, and everybody's got their own favourite way of taking off SMD capacitors, and I love how passionate people get about them. This is the right way and how you should do it, and I'm really looking forward to, because I've gone into quite a lot of detail on my method of desoldering SMD caps in this Amiga 600 video, and I hope it's all going to come through all right. You know, I haven't checked all the footage yet, and if what you are guaranteed to get if you put an opinion on the internet is lots of other opinions countering your opinion, and telling you how wrong you are. So that'll be fun, but I'm learning to ignore the comments that don't suit me. Oh, drink. Dry throat. Running out of conversation topics. I've got a list, mate. Oh, Julian. If only you lived closer. You and I, we could do some special things together. Julian's another of my resources. I'm going to call you a resource. Someone that if I am stuck, I know he's one of the people that will help me, and has done lots of times. Just watch Chris Edwards remove SMD caps. Quick and painless if brutal. Yeah, I actually Mark from the Retro channel just he did a roundup of his different methods, and his method is basically he doesn't just rip them off, he kind of twists them until the legs end up fatiguing and breaking, and then he just pulls them off. And it makes a lot of sense. I don't see any problem with that at all. I prefer to snip into the can, so I'll use, you know, the cutters and just like snip into the side and then go around and snip the other side and snip and end up, and it puts no pressure on the pads at all if you do it really carefully, and it takes a little bit more time to do it that way. So there's two over by the power connector on the A600 that you can't get a soldering iron onto one side of, and you risk, if you heat it, you risk melting plastic, and I just cut those off. So that'll annoy some people as well. But yes, it's a conversation starter. God, black motherboards are disgusting. And there's me wandering off camera again. Getting a dry throat. Is that gin in the bottle? Can't drink. Dodgy liver. Continental is a stunningly good series so far. Love it. I saw that advertised. I actually turned it on, and I think it started with sex, and it was in the middle of the day and there were people around, so I had to turn it off, and I never went back to it, so I will go back to it. Not necessarily with sex, so, you know, nudity was going on. What would we do with that Smurf poo for soldering sockets? Exactly. 2 irons is, yeah. You'll see Glenn, I'm super proud of part of that video, because there's a bit where all the capacitors, not those two that are behind the power connector, but all those capacitors in that area, I basically just go blip, 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 and they all just come off one after another without any drama at all. It's not always the case. It's, you know, two irons is like easy mode, and I'll explain this in the video, but it's me being lazy basically. But it just works. But when there's a lot of damage, there's a lot of corrosion on the solder pads, you have to scratch up each solder pad just to make sure that you can get some solder to flow. And if you don't do that, they just won't melt, and then you'll end up burning things. And it's really easy to do. You learn that in with the soundboards in Sega Game Gears. They're a bit tricky. Again, when I've come across those, just cut them off. You got plenty of room around those, so you know it's not hard to do. Dirty iron. So new tip. This actually is a Pine Seal 64, and this one is my old one. And I think I prefer this one, but the only reason I've not gone with it is that this bit here keeps sliding off and it ends up going down there like that. And this one's not worn out yet, so I could just swap it over. But this one, like you can see the display, the temperature's flying up and down. It's just not happy. It doesn't do that on the other one. I might update the firmware. I should probably update the firmware. That'll probably be better. But it seems to work all right. I'm not anal on exactly what the temperature should be. It's somewhere between 300 and 350. It's fine, and you get to feel whether it's too hot. You know, you can feel that. You'll know if it's too hot, and if it's not hot enough, you know. You just get a feel for these, for how well your iron is performing on a board. On the Amiga, I was using 380, I think. You are a resource. Glenn is not a fan of, let's go back up a bit. Just watching Jin, is the face cam out of sync? I don't know. It could be. Yes, it is. I won't change it now. I could do, but what I've just realised that I set the microphone up with a delay because this capture is slightly out of sync. But I'm using a different microphone, so that hasn't got the delay on it. But sorry. The Continental was all about tyres. Right, so Glenn said he's not a fan of snipping, but yeah, when needs must it. Yeah, it's not a last resort for me. But I would rather snip than use heat, I think. I'm not against heat, I just don't like caps exploding. Don't like being surprised. I haven't found a method yet, says Carsten, which I favour for recapping SMD caps. Jury's still out. Yeah, you just got to find your voice. Always remove that coil thing over by the power connector. Okay, you take that out. Oh, all right, then you can use heat easier, I suppose. Yeah, that makes sense. Lazy or recreative? Lazy. Just out of interest, the green LEDs, the -5 green LED is the opposite way around. Have you got them right before you pair it up, as it's the easiest to make? Yep. I spotted that. You must have been off lunch or something, Mr. Robbins. Other retro Gothmog plays. Oh God, Game Gears are the worst crap to repair ever. Those board mounted caps are truly evil. Yes. I've irrationally grown to hate them because of the components. Yeah, they're not. I actually quite enjoy I haven't soldered that side. I actually quite enjoy working on Game Gears. I don't mind them at all. I haven't. I mean, I've done 4 or 5 now. I haven't come across one that's been so bad that it's lost pads. It's been a case in, you know, actually the soundboard in one of them was really bad, but it was still, you know, it still worked. It was still, I didn't have to repair anything in it. It was just a recap. All of them have just been a recap. But it was more about getting the old solder off, and that, you know, old solder, when it's had a good soaking in electrolytic fluid, something happens to it that makes it just absorb heat in an amazingly weird way. Right, we've got this bag to do next. So look, we've got jumper headers. Oh, we've got some there. Are they round pin? No. So I've got to put one in there, and that's a switch. Switch goes there, and a couple of buttons for here and here, and that's it. Oh, we've got a 2 over there as well. Let's do the 2 first. My throat's dry now. After the live stream, after 12 hours of talking, I thought I'm all right, and I couldn't get to sleep till 4 o'clock in the 4:30 in the morning that night. I was buzzing. I was completely wired. Talking to Adrian was, I mean, I've spoken to Neil. I've had the pleasure of meeting Neil and spent time with him, and he's just a lovely, lovely man. But I'm a big fan of Adrian's, and to get to talk to him was a big deal for me. And you know, after doing that and raising all that money, I was flying. So there's no way I was going to sleep. I kept dozing off and waking up, and I dozed off and I woke up and my throat had suddenly just closed up. I couldn't hardly breathe, and I had to get up and make myself a hot lemon. Oh, sorry. A hot lemon with honey in it at 3:30 in the morning. I should have brought some throat sweets in here. Right, chat. To put that particular one in right. Yeah, I got that one. Didn't you get a spare sleeve with the pine? No, I did not. I got nothing. Yeah, both of them only came with what was on the pine saw itself. Yeah, face cam is about half a second off. Let me have a quick look. Audio, advanced audio properties. Let me stick. Oh, where is it? Oh, I know exactly how much I need to do because it's in Yeti. And I need to make sure I press tab, close. Right, that should be much better. Is it just temporal distortion? Don't worry about it. I love fixing Game Gears. That's why I have 7 of them. James, you need to calm your tits, mate. 7 Game Gears. I don't think I've actually switched mine on since I fixed all of those ones. Are we still in camera? But they are fun to do. What I think I need is a multi-cart. I need a multi-cart for so many systems though. I need a multi-cart for the NES, the N64. I'm just going for the Nintendo machines. I've got I've got one for the SNES. Have I got one for the SNES? Yeah, I've got one for the SNES. SNES. The Super NES. I've got one for the Mega Drive. Need one for the Master System. Oh, so many systems. So many systems that I need a multi-cart for. Because I don't get the opportunity to collect games and software. It's just not something I have the time or finances to do because it's ridiculous now. So I'm quite happy to not have the originals. There we go. I'm getting these as straight as I can, so I don't want to have to reflow them because the 3 pins is harder to do. They look good. I think the one I want the most out of all the systems that I've got that I need multi-carts for, lots of computers, is the NES. The NES is a machine I'd love to explore, but I've only got Super Mario 3 and something else. So it's not as much fun if you've only got a few games for it. But it's a bit like the old days, I suppose. Still out. Let me just check that. Advanced audio properties. Am I doing the right thing? Is it better though, the audio? What do I want another one? What got one, a last one to fix, but I can't face it. I'll be doing the Vader next. I'll fix your Game Gear for you, Matt. No problem. You know I'll do. I'd fix anything for you, mate. James McNeil's. Oh no, James McNeil. I have fixed lots of Game Gears, but the best thing you can do is do the MC. Oh, MC. Oh, the McWill screen mod. They look so much better. Yeah, the also the Retro 6 screens. Fantastic. Let's do the switches next. I do love snapping these switches in place, and I've just bent a leg over. Awesome. What a muppet. There we go. Yeah, the Retro 6. That was Mike DX's Game Gears that I fixed for him, recapped and everything, and one of them, I think he sent me 3, and then I got to keep one, and the worst one he wanted to be upgraded to OLED screen, so we went for the Retro 6 one because it was, you know, UK based, so it's easier to get, and so that's a kit and a half. That is, what a difference that made. Not the easiest thing to fit, those screens. There's a bit of fiddliness about them that I didn't really enjoy, especially on that edge connector. I think they've been upgraded since you don't have to do, you know, it might be a little bit easier. Right, last component going in, and then the edge connector, and then we can try this on a Specky. Why is that not going in there? That doesn't line up. Oh yes, it does. It's tight, and those legs have actually splayed out, so the pitch on these legs is not the same as the pitch in the in this motherboard. It's slightly off. Let's get the middle one in. Right, how many mistakes do you think I've made? Oh, we'll put some chips in as well, and fit these headers. Well, let's get the chips in first. Well, I'm guessing that one goes in there. Let's check these legs. Another reason to have a 3D printer, to get one of them. Have you got one of these, Glenn? Print you one if you want. What? You've got a spare multi-cart, Matt? I'll buy it off you. You know, I hate taking charity. I like making charity. I don't like taking it. One another. I've got a last one to fix. All right. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll fix your Game Gear, and for a multi-cart. However, I think Retro 6 have done, yeah, an easier Mod 2 install. Yes, yeah, so you've just covered what I was saying, and you probably said it before I did, but there is an easier one to do now. I never had to repair Sega Mega Drive. They seem to be built like tank. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, despite the corrosion that the capacitors do, the soundboard is easy to replace. There are replacements for that, and the biggest danger is battery damage. So, and if it gets battery damage, then you might be struggling a bit. Retro 6 screen and power in custom grey and blue case. Yes, I've seen that one, James, that you've got. Lovely. Okay, folks, so are we taking our odds on whether this works or not? 5-2 odds on. Whoa! Screen mod was the hardest thing I've done. Yeah, it's not an easy one, and you probably did the McMill one as well. I imagine Ross is missing some gummy bears. I could really do some sweets. I've had to be really good. Right, so these are all LS273N. Are they all the same? So they can all go in. Check the legs. Oh, can you see that? I've noticed this a bit on one of the other kits. Those are basically bronzed. They're so dull. So look, if I just clean one of them off, or I've cleaned those top two off, can you see the difference there? Get that? They are really badly oxidized. My last fiberglass pen that I had that wore out was nasty. If I used it like this, I would end up with fiberglass in my fingers. Bits of fiber, you know, thick fiberglass would come off. It was really abrasive and brilliant at doing things like this. But this is, you know, works fine. It's like a soft brush though, and you don't get bits of fiberglass in your finger. I don't know why. Sometimes it's not quite abrasive enough though. Oh. There we go. That is so good. I don't know if it's the sponge that these have been stored in, maybe. But yeah, they're really badly oxidized. They're not corroded. They're in perfect condition. There's just a lot of oxidization on them. I wonder what the date code is on them, or if there is a date code on them. I'll have to get my goggles on. Oh, my throat is really drying out. 23 it looks like. So these are brand new. Had the flex cable but screwed that up, so I had to run wires to fix it up. Yeah, their flex cables are not easy to solder onto, and you know, you're fighting a lot of things at the same time. Built a Mister entirely to prevent myself from buying more retro computers and consoles. Yeah, the idea here isn't actually working. No, what you've done is get invested in a whole different ecosystem, and one where people get quite cross if you say the wrong thing. I'd love a Mister. I'd love, you know, to get involved in all of that. It would be quite fun, but my God, they are too expensive for what they do. I mean, it's amazing what they do, but they are, you know, when you have the alternatives are, you know, obviously not as good as a Mister, but they're not that many orders of magnitude worse. I would, yeah, it's too much money. I can't justify spending that much on something I can get 90% of the way there with a Raspberry Pi. Especially now that the Pi 5 is out, and I see that, who is it? It might be Retro Dodo or ECA Prime has already released a video showing that the Raspberry Pi 5 is already very good at emulation. So I need to watch that. I haven't watched it yet. I've just seen the thumbnail and thought, ooh. Anybody got a Raspberry Pi 5 yet? Are they on general release? I'm not sure. Anyone planning to get one? I am planning to get one, but I've got to be a little bit careful with finances at the moment. That one the right way around? Yeah. One more to go. Oh, I've still got to do the edge connector. Oh, this one looks all right, but I'll give it a quick clean anyway. On both sides like that. And one bent leg. Patina. So, I don't have one of those, but I really should print one. Yeah, I'll give you the link to the Thingiverse. Probably just as easy for you to search for lead bender. No, that won't be it. I'll find it. I've got it in my favourites. Deal Game Gear for multi-car. I'll dig through the boxes and get it in the post in the next week or so. Cool, thanks mate. There's a Retro 6 one with the Flex Easy solder thing. I screwed up soldering the resistors and ended up killing them and some of the pads. Eek! Bronze, that's patina. I like a pair of bronze legs. Not sure why you're complaining. So you see, if you had some gummy bears, it would be just like a Mark Fixie stuff video. He calls them. And Gummy Crew just sent you a link on Discord to the Game Gear flash cart I use, mate. Oh, cool. Cheers, James. Did you send me any money as well? I got my. I don't want any money. I'm not asking for money. I got my Mister before the era of human malware, way cheaper. But yes, that's annoying. That's another reason that you know, even if I could justify the price, knowing that it is artificially much higher than it was, is stopping me from getting involved. I don't agree with that. Right, so that's got some. Oh, it's just got a bent leg there for some reason, like a crooked leg. So these don't fit. Let me get this. Oh, I'll zoom out a bit. I'm zoomed right in. So the edge connector needs to go on. It's keyed so that it can only go on one way. But the legs obviously won't meet the board on both sides. So I have to carefully bend the legs over like this, a little at a time, not too much, until I've done this a few times, so I know roughly what I'm looking for. Until there's still a little bit of a wiggle there. They need to touch, basically. It's easy to go too far, and then you end up having to spread the legs. See, Mark fixes stuff just infects your mind with a innuendo. Right, that's good enough. I'm just going to put the foot on here so it sits in the right height. There we go. Still needs to be propped up a little bit, so I'm just, that's too much. Back it off a little bit. I found, oh, Katie's not in here, is he? Katie made a Dandinator AMIE, which is similar to this one. This is the MTD, and he made a 3D printed case that fouled the back of a 48K rubber key. It was all right. That Dandinator was going with the Mectrum, and it fit fine on the Mectrum. Just the way that Lee Smith had created that case meant there was a little bit of extra room, so that went on the back. But this on the back of a Spectrum would hit the back of the case like that, and or like that. It wouldn't go all the way onto the edge connector, so it didn't work. So I had to take that edge connector off, and it ruined the edge connector when I did that. Bought another edge connector and just moved it back a bit, and it was all right. So I was just making sure, although this hasn't got a 3D case going on it, so a 3D printed case, so I am just going to put it right there. So I've got my special reel of solder here. This is Weller Radiolet, and it's 1.5 millimeters. This, by comparison, is 0.7. This is it's almost bought out of desperation when I was running out of solder of the right size and composition, and I couldn't find any anywhere. But now I use this on big solder jobs like this. So I'm just going to tack that one in place, and this one. It smells nice, this solder, as well. And just check everything is straight. That's good. Let's get this one intact as well. Tacked. Probably shouldn't smell nice. I don't want to be sniffing solder fumes. Flux sniffer. Pi 5 looks impressive, but a 16GB model would have been nice. I haven't, do you know, I still haven't used that Pi 4 that you sent me, Neil. And that was the 8GB. Thank you very much for that. That's actually, it's in my Pi box, I think, which is bare now. I've got a Pi 0 2W in there, and a Pi 1. 3 weeks. What? Power will be switched off in a minute. Oh, press any button to cancel. There we go. My screen was going to switch off then. He's got Retro Robbins has got a pork pie. Pi 5 on pre-order here, but apparently end of October official launch date will be pushed back. Oh, that's a shame. Wonder how fast the Pi Storm will go. Oh my god, yeah, I hadn't even considered that. Pi 5 with the Pi Storm. What? It's more than twice as fast. It's 2 to 3 times faster than the Pi 4. He didn't like the leg bending of the connector. It's easy to you think you're just going to go and it'll just all collapse in your end. Hello, Mateus Baez. How are you, mate? Nice to see you. There you go, mate. Just sent you some money on PayPal. I'll quit. Cheers, James. You're the man. Oh, I need to solder all these on. I'm going to spend... Oh, my screen did switch off. Why would you do that? I've pressed the button and everything. Right. What shall everybody suggest what I should spend my pound from James on. I'm going to start the betting with 100 gummy bears. I used to do that. I used to go fishing. Exactly what I used to buy. I used to live about a mile that way down the road, and I used to get all my gear when I was a young lad, carry it about half a mile down the road to where the access to the river was, and just at the top of the road is led down towards the river. There used to be a little sweet shop there, and I'd stop in a sweet shop with all my gear, pile my gear up outside, and I'd go inside with a pound note. That's how long ago it was. and I'd buy 100 gummy bears, and I'd make the poor woman count them out. Which, to be fair, not my fault. She should have had scales. I mean, I would have been happy to buy them per pound a pound. And yeah, and I'd sit on the bank of the river fishing for roach and munching on gummy bears. So Mark fixes stuff. Hasn't got the monopoly on them. I was there first, but well, I wasn't doing retro. Oh, that is really smoky. How are we doing? How long have we been going? Does that say? Oh, I can't tell. I'm not going to go past midnight, but I think we'll get this done, test it, and have a look at the spectrum and see what to do. And then iron brew juice, James. You ruined me with those. They were so nice. Turned my wife's face inside out when I let her eat one of them. I'd walk in the garage and go, oh god, I've bridged. I've got to eat an iron brew chew. I did send out quite a lot of the charity stuff with iron brew chews, but because I'd eaten quite a few of them, I did go and buy a load of like Haribo and sent sweets with almost all of the packages. I've still got one left here to hand deliver, which is this one, the ZX Spectrum Astronomy, which Chris, who volunteers at the cave, I don't know if Chris is in here. I lose track of people's real names and avatars and handles, but Chris won that. He paid over 100 quid for that book, and he's asked me to sign it, which is a bit embarrassing because you know I'm just some idiot on YouTube, just having a laugh, and signing things feels a bit fake and phony. But if that's, I mean, he paid all that money, he can have what he wants. I did say I will write what you want in there. I'll write my bank details in there if you want, and my PIN code. But yeah, I've met Chris a couple of times up at the cave when he's been volunteering up there. And he's a lovely bloke. He's really nice. He's so helpful. Him and Derek have been legends. Let me just zoom down so you can see my glorious soldering on this edge connector. The shine actually spoils it a bit, but they're all really nice fillets on there. That solder, this Weller solder, is amazing. It's probably not very healthy to be breathing in, but it flows even better than my Loctite. Excuse me. Right, where are these connectors got to go? Have a look here. Jumper 1 option. When a jumper is on pins 1 and 2, it will enable the integrated diagnostics software, which is what we want. So 1 and 2 is that one. Oh, it's the wrong way up. That way up. Get on. Okay. Jumper 2, M1 ignore. So we want to use the M1 line for now. So that'll be 2 and 3. There we go. And ROM IO jumper. This jumper is for compatibility with the Brazilian clones that use this line for audio. When using a Brazilian clone, disable the jumper, enable the jumper for original ZX mode. So we need to put one on this one as well. What about the switch? I can never remember what that switch does. Slider switch. Slide it to the right to have the red middle row LEDs show the status of the data lines present on the edge connector. Slide it to the left to have the red middle row show the diagnostic mode. In the diagnostic mode, the ZX card will first show the LEDs counting down, so it goes zzz, zzz, zzz. When the system is powered on. This will make sure the LEDs are working properly. Right, so let's go for it. Quick look at the chat. Pound of penny sweets, 50 resistors from Mouser with a £25 delivery charge. You're a masochist. I have not got my fume extractor on and I'm really bad. But I need some sort of ventilation. I am going to have to do something because I think it is affecting my health. But I don't. If I'm working by myself, I'll have the door open. Wham bars. I'd forgotten about them. Yeah, wham bars. Chocolate logs or toffee logs. Used to like those. Is it possible to catch fish with gummy bears? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Snowy Snowden. Yeah, it is very smoky. The Loctite's not so bad. Nothing wrong with curly whirlies, except they've got smaller now. They used to be massive, curly whirlies. They're ridiculous now. IPA time. Yes, that's a good point. Let's do the IPA first. Let's give it a quick wash. I shouldn't go ahead without doing that. I need some. Oh yeah, it's over there. Serial number is just going to come straight off. I'll go over this better later, but this is just to, in case there's any little solder dags that are bridging anything. There's nothing in there, so that's good. That'll do. I'll make it neater and pretty later. I'll put something up on Twitter. I might even put it on a community post on YouTube. Does it go a certain way around? It must be, actually, because it's got like little holes. Yeah, they line up. I think. No, maybe not. Right, a bit more chat. Matt had a deep fried curly whirly in Glasgow. Oh God, that's basically congenital heart disease in a paper bag. Never had any battered and deep fried chocolate product. Oh God, can you imagine? I used to love battered, frittered pineapple. So chocolate instead of pineapple, yeah, you're on to a winner there. I've only been to Scotland twice and didn't get to sample deep fried confectionery. I used to like Highland toffee bars. I don't know what Highland toffee bar is, but I like toffee and most things that come from Scotland. IPA time is not beer time. You could pull your teeth out trying to chew a Highland toffee bar. It's a bit like that with the Iron Brew chews, actually. Right, so let's switch this to capture and turn that on and turn that on. Yeah. Get stuff connected up. Right, this is without anything plugged in, so it's working. There we go. It's doing the did, and then you can't really. I can hear it on the speaker, but it's not. I don't think it's like a bad connection anywhere. So let's see. Actually, I'm going to do it with the dandinator first. I'm just putting the dandinator in. And then I'll switch back to camera so you can see that the other one has gone in, and then start the dandinator with the button held down. And then you see like it just goes boop. Why has my capture gone off? Oh, come on. Oh, that's still on. Oh, it is there. Let's try that again. Well, I'm not sure what's going on there. That's not coming up on the screen. I think this device has crashed, so I'm just going to restart it. See if that works. What on earth is going on? Oh, I think there's a bad connection over here somewhere. Maybe. Weird. Sorry, I'm not showing you what's going on because I haven't. I could do three. Oh no, I can't do three cameras because the capture is going. It's gone off again. Right, is that going to work? Yes. Right, so you can see this is the dandinator, and it is going to run through the test, or it will get to a certain stage. I just wanted you to see this bit where it says checking ROM, unknown or corrupt ROM. If I put a keyboard in there, it will go through the rest of the test and it will be successful. Right. Do I dare switch that back to camera? Yay! Right, you're upside down, but you'll be able to see what's going on. Power's disconnected. Let's slide this in. Oh, it's a nice fit. Nice connector, that. Plug that in and go back to this one, which looks like it needs another restart. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Okay, let's see what's doing on screen. Something is not right. Oh no, the lights do work. Sorry, I had to turn it off. I'm just checking that the LEDs are working. They are all working, and all the voltages are good as well. And that immediately gets to that, but it also isn't doing that weird thing. I think this has got a faulty ROM. Let's go back to camera and switch you over to there. Right, so you can see that this, what happens when this starts up. I put the switch over in the right hand side, which is just showing the activity on here straight away. It's supposed to do some fancy patterns here, but it just does like a blip and then goes and carries on. I think that might be something to do with the board being slightly faulty. Now, the fact that it is actually that one. the fact that it is getting to this point and stopping. I probably do the flashy light bits if I connect it. In fact, let's do that. I've got a keyboard, right? I've got a keyboard here I can connect. I'm just going to slide that in to the connectors. Actually, I should do that with it off in case I bridge something or touch something I shouldn't. So yeah, I'm suspecting that the ROM's gone bad on this. Although this does replace the ROM, I think. Right, checking ROM. So I press 1 for 48K. Let's see if it goes through the test. While it's doing that, and the crowd roared. It's a flux capacitor, you haven't hit 88 miles an hour. When I built that joystick for TJ Ferreira, it did actually hit me to sign it, so I had to take my ego by the neck, sit down in the corner and tell it to take it down a notch or 100. I would have signed it. I realised I've never asked this, but what did you make of the ZX Spectrum Next, Lee? Well, you're a fan. Oh, it's just rebooted itself. I didn't see if it got to the end. Oh, it did. Must have done. And do you want one, or is it too modern? It doesn't do anything that I need. I'm not the target market. I think it's for people that enjoy the software side of things and exploring the modern stuff that you can do with ZX Spectrums. But I'm more about the past. So I appreciate them. And Paul, if he's still here, I've had a little play with his early Kickstarter one. I think he's one of the first ones. And yeah, it's a nice thing, but not for me. Night, Glenn. Cheers, mate. I will speak to you soon. I think you need to test it in a working Spectrum first. I don't know if I've got one. I've kind of sold them all. Let me have a look. See if we've got one. What's in here? No, that hasn't got ULA in it. That's a parts board. The working one I have. Oh, there's an issue 2 here. This might work. Yeah, that is a good point. I should try it in a working one just to make sure. I'm not going to try fixing that one tonight. Let's go back to camera. Yay. So this issue 2, let's see if it actually works. I won't show this on. Oh, I can't. Let's go back to that. Oh, it's this one's got some weird these variable resistors here. There's something going on with these. That's why that screen is green.
How's that? Any better? Oh, it might be on this one actually. Hey, I don't think it's on that one. Yeah, I've been running it as administrator. Actually, I just started it up just then without doing that, but that was weird. I had to restart OBS. That's working as a diagnostic cart. The spectrum is a bit sickly. I am still curious about the other one. Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I know what we can do. Let's put in a ULA, a better ULA. Workbench. Oh, my Elgato's gone missing now. Or it could be the end of the stream. Why does that keep doing that? Let's try turning it off and turning it back on again. Yeah, I should probably quit while I'm ahead of the game. I've got a few things to iron out. But this has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. And the main purpose of tonight was to build this thing. I knew that I had to do that because I've got a lot of spectrums coming up to fix for Paul, and I needed a diagnostic cartridge that well, I didn't need one. I've got the Dandinator, but I wanted that ready to go because it's nice to show in videos. You can show visually a lot of things that are going on with that cartridge. So that was something I wanted to do, and I thought, why not do that with some other people telling me how badly I'm doing things. And I'm in sync now. What? That's really weird. Okay, well, hey, yeah, so that was fun. Thank you everybody for joining me. And one of the other purposes of doing live streams on this channel is I need to get into the YouTube partner program so I can turn adverts off on my second channel. Don't want adverts on my second channel. Yeah, it's not a channel that I'm actively trying to grow. I want it to be somewhere where I can do fun things that I don't have to edit and I don't have to make sure that are of a certain standard. So, you know, you'll have to put up with that sort of rubbish if it comes along. But if I'm at the moment, because I'm not a YouTube partner program, I've got enough subs, but I haven't got enough watch hours. If I can get into the partner program, I can just switch adverts off on every video, so you won't have to put up with that nonsense. So if you're not, if you haven't watched everything I've done multiple times on this channel, set a bot going or something. No, don't do that because you'll get me banned. That does happen. Right, thank you everybody for coming along. I won't be streaming next weekend because I'm going to be in Stroud. Yeah. I'll see you all soon.